guys, welcome back to Polly Vegan Kitchen. Today we are going to be making one of our favorites, and our mom always makes it. It's called tokutu, and if you want to learn how to make it, then keep watching.
Welcome back, guys. As previously mentioned, we are making tokutu today. This is a staple in my household, and actually, this is a very typical Tongan dessert, and it's basically coconut bread. You're gonna need flour, sugar, baking powder, and here's a little tip when buying baking powder. Always check the ingredients to be sure that it does not contain aluminum. When cooking, you always want to use aluminum-free baking powder. You're also gonna need salt, shredded coconut, water, and coconut milk. But the coconut milk is optional, and later on in the video, I'll explain what I mean. Now you just throw all the dry ingredients into a bowl and mix before adding water. The recipe calls for 4 cups of flour, 1 cup of sugar, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1 cup of shredded coconut. So my measurements for this recipe is pretty standard. Rule of thumb is for every cup of flour, I add 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/4 cup of sugar. Obviously, you can adjust to your preference. If you want it less sweet, then less sugar. You also don't have to add as much baking powder, but I find that 4 teaspoons makes the texture fluffier and softer. After you mix, you slowly add in 2 cups of water. Now carefully fold and do not overmix, otherwise you're going to get a rubbery texture. You don't want it runny, but you do want a thick, wet consistency. Spray your foil. Now this next step is so extra, you really don't even need it, but girl, I do this every time. So I like to dip my scoop spoon in coconut milk before I scoop the batter onto the foil. Now let me explain. It gives you just enough coconut milk taste without you having to add the coconut milk into the batter. I found that when you mix coconut milk into the batter, because it's a thick liquid, you get a very doughy texture when it bakes. And texture is important because that's what sets the tokutu apart from the manioke tama. If it's doughy, it's more like a manioke tama, and if it's fluffier, then it's more like a tokutu, if that makes sense. And this is a fresh tokutu straight out of the oven, literally still piping hot, baked for 50 minutes at 350 degrees. Here's the texture we are looking for in a tokutu. Yeah, girl, my fingertips were burning. But I'm baking this by memory from my childhood, and this is the texture that I remember from what I ate as a kid. And now my kids are eating it. It's pretty cool. Okay, Lupe, what's the verdict?
Delicious.
There you have it, guys, another satisfied kid. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, comment down below, subscribe. It'll really help us out a lot. Follow us on social media, and remember, no matter where you are on your journey, there's always room for you on our table right here on Polly Vegan Kitchen.